7 o'clock, call meeting order, say pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Why would we get the clock for that? See what we can get done before it goes off. Alright, make a motion to approve the minutes from January the 10th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Any questions?
No. Need a motion to approve February docket and allowance docket.
I'll make a motion we approve the docket and the allowance docket.
Second.
Did you have any questions on the claims?
No. Thank you. Alright, well, we'll get started. Laura, where'd you go? Laura, there you are. I saw you walk in, so we said, we'll let you have the floor.
Well, thank you. Well, I am here to give kind of a update on EDC activities and let you know what we did in 2017. The 2017 invoice for the contract for community and economic development, we submitted that to Pat. In 2017, we were busy. We had the ribbon cutting and the completion of the 2 expansion projects at Indiana Packers that we worked really hard to land. One of those expansion projects was a competitive project where Indiana Packers was looking at sites between Carroll County and Holland, Michigan, and everything in between that had good highway access. We were able to attract that expansion project or to win that project by working with the County Redevelopment Commission on an incentive package that included making improvements to county roads 100 north and 625 west, the same road that the transfer station's on. Those 2 road projects are pretty much done, and there's a couple little tiny ceiling things left to do, but I think they're about 91%, I think technically is the percentage that those 2 projects are done. We've worked with the developers at the Peters Industrial Development. They now have 6 businesses at the former Peters and Revington facility. We're working with the Coonses at the Sycamore Industrial Park. They have a couple of suites available. We've been marketing that site, trying to generate leads for them as well. And then we're working with the Andersons on, the Andersons kind of spurred a discussion about truck routes in and around Delphi. And we had an MPO meeting yesterday, and Pete's also on that administrative committee. We're having the MPO staff help us on a task force to work with industry partners, the Andersons, Peters Industrial Development, looking at truck routes, and is there a route or 2 that we could easily upgrade to help the flow of semi-tractor trailer traffic in Delphi? Mayor Evans is also on that task force, and Highway Department, and so we have our first task force meeting tomorrow on that. We are still marketing Carroll County. This year alone, we've reached by email over 2,300 site selectors around the country. We had a mailing go out yesterday, a postcard mailing for Carroll County. to about 2,500 site selectors. We're going on domestic sales trips with the state. Last year I went to Atlanta and New York, as well as organized regional site selector trips to Chicago and Indianapolis. We're looking to do a couple of our own site selector trips again this year, probably Chicago and Indianapolis again, just because it's so close, but looking at St. Louis and Cleveland as well. Pounding the pavement, telling the story. We have a great story to tell, but we've got great industrial sites, and we have a business-friendly government, and we can be creative and flexible on incentives. I think the project Lego, or the Jeep project's a good example of how we talked to the company. They told us what they needed. They needed a non-traditional abatement schedule, and took a lot of massaging and working, but we were able to work with the county council to get that, to get a non-traditional and the largest tax abatement ever in Carroll County history. That's just a sampling of what we've been up to. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
No, I don't have anything right now, but I know off the top of my head. Got anything in?
Nope.
Well, and we have a shareholder email that is going out tomorrow. That's just updating all of our stakeholders, town board, town clerks, county department heads, just on our activities, what we've been up to already. So about the site selectors for this year, you'll read that again. But that email is going out tomorrow, and we have our annual report, the close-up report that we send out directly to you, and also send to the media. That usually comes out in the second quarter. That'll come out as well, but we just want to communicate more frequently and just keep you guys updated as we go along throughout the year.
Who are your officers?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Who are your officers?
Yeah, so right now the town of Camden is represented by Julia Leahy and Connie Cripe. We have new officers for 2018. Our new president is Dick Traeger, who's also on the Delphi City Council. Our vice president is Brett Reinhardt. Our treasurer remains Joe Moss, and our secretary is Bill Jones. Our immediate past president is Joe Mayfield. He sits on the executive committee, as does our attorney, Marion Robeson.
One thing, Laura, that I would be interested in, and I brought this up before, is east of Camden is where the old grain green tree feeds. And then, of course, this Lexi property. I just think it's prime if we could work out something, to market that. I know south of the road is under the mining company and it's probably not touchable. But on that north side of the road would be an excellent opportunity, I think, especially if the railroad gets upgraded.
Yes.
So I just hope they take into consideration and look at it. I don't know if Remington Siege would even consider, but
They had, I think it's sold.
Well, I know it was for sale. Actually, I had some communication with Remington C, and I'm sorry, I'm remiss not to mention that. I worked with a gentleman who's an interesting fellow from Florida. I spent a lot of time with this guy.
Me too.
Way too much time.
Yeah.
Got cornered a couple times, so I was the only one in the office and no one to rescue me. But I spent a lot of time with him. I knew he was interested in buying it, but that did prompt me to do some research and to make some contacts on that facility. The price is
The
pretty good.
way I understand it, as of last week, they had like an auction, and the high bid got accepted. So it's just a matter of moving the money. And I was informed that a trailer company had bought it. Now, I don't know whether it's a trailer repair company, a trailer build company, a trailer hauling company. I don't know what it is. That's what the rumor is.
That's interesting, because I've been working with a trailer company that was looking at other properties, so that I'll go and check in with, see if it's that same
Because the
company.
guy across the street was kind of interested in it. He didn't want the guy you were talking about. So he was working to find somebody. So that's the reason right now. So
Right. Well, I'm sure you can appreciate that I'm put in a challenging position when the gentleman walks into my office with grand ideas, but literally not a dime to his name and doesn't understand why I'm not finding him money. If I had those capabilities, you guys would be the first ones I would tell. And, you know, I would definitely promote that, but I'm not a miracle worker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll check in, and as soon as I find out anything, I'll let you guys know. Cause I'm intrigued about the trailer company, that's interesting.
That's just what, you know, that's the
I
latest.
heard it too.
Okay. You guys have an opening on our board, since unfortunately Mark's not able to complete his term. Do you have any suggestions or have some ideas?
I'd like to see if we could get Bob Oderman to come back and represent the town.
That'd be great.
I don't
Also,
know if he would.
also somebody mentioned Jerry Sparks, and I see where I didn't think he'd be interested, but he's running for Liberty Township trustee.
Is he?
So that's what the paper said tonight.
No, I didn't even, his family, I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure that's what he was signed up for, it's Liberty Town, is that what,
I haven't
radio
read
or
it.
anything?
I mean, that's where he lives in Liberty Township, so.
It was Republican Jerry Sparks for
I could,
Liberty Township
Was it
trustee.
that trustee or advisory board?
I think trustee, because it was just one, and it wouldn't, so I don't know. Unless they just
I
appoint
can-
one,
I mean,
the
I can
board's
ask him.
offset, I don't know.
I know Bob's done it, but I mean,
Bob was a fantastic board member, he was active on committees, and we would love to have Bob back. I think I also threw out a name to Pat and Mark of Larry Trapp, who is a Jackson Township resident, on the redevelopment commission. There's some obvious synergy there, and he's pretty active. So Connie's our newest board member from Camden, and thank you for appointing her. She's been fantastic. She's had an immediate impact, as I'm sure you can imagine, on our board meetings, in the most positive way. We very much enjoy her. If you need more names, or you know, if unfortunately those people don't work out, let me know, and I'll help try to find someone. Now, I don't know if it's a difference because it's town or city, and this would be a question for your attorney, but I know the city of Delphi, with their appointments, they had to live in, either have a business or be residents of city limits. And I don't know if that's just, Mayor Strasser cited an Indiana code. I don't know if that was just a policy that it was, that's what they went with, but might be something to keep in mind too.
Yeah.
thank you. Well, that brings us to the board appointees, kind of cover that. You'll do well.
Okay.
Department reports.
Okay, I'll go through this pretty quickly. We did get the 1782 notice of setting the tax rates. For this year, it'll be basically $1.51 compared to $1.58 last year. I do want to look at possibly cutting the general fund budget. I don't care whether we do it officially, where we notify DLGF that we're cutting it, or whether we just do it in-house and say we're just not going to spend it. But we do need to know that we can't spend everything that we put in the budget. We need to get a work session going. Okay? The budget is as it was set for right now, but again, I'd like to see that cut. I sent you an email with some suggestions on
I
that.
did get that,
Okay,
and I did read that.
good job. Last month, we talked about the rainy day transfer. So we have resolution 2018B authorizing 10% of the total. If we have that amount remaining, we can transfer that into the rainy day fund. So we're looking at $38,840. So I would need a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion that we transfer $38,840.
Second.
Okay, I'll get that done. April Bradley took over for Vicki Powers with Powers Grant Administration. She has her own company now. she is the one who is working with us on the stormwater, and being as we were awarded the grant and everything, we are ready to sign a contract with her. So she has sent in her contract. Her fees are, as outlined, they're regulated by what a grant administrator can charge. And so she's living within what is allowed. So I do need a motion on approving her contract.
I'll make a motion that we approve April Bradley's contract for the storm sewer grant.
I'll second.
Did she change names of the company? or
Yeah, she set up her own company.
Okay.
And I just need Brent's signature on it. The Jackson Township sent in their contract for fire protection. I just need it on one sheet. The contract is the same, $5,000 for the year, paid twice in the year. There were no changes. They will take care of routine maintenance. If there's anything unusual, the town pays it. They buy the insurance, we reimburse them on the insurance. There's no changes in the contract.
Make a motion to accept the contract.
And who signs that? We have a contract every year with Purdue University for the use of the shooting range for shooting sports. They have also sent in their contract. Their contract remains the same, with the same rules that they have as far as safety for the kids and how many can be down there and such. There were no changes in that contract.
Make a motion to accept the shooting range contract.
Second.
And I need your signature.
Do we know how many kids were involved last year in 4-H?
No,
In
I
shooting
don't know.
sports?
I don't know.
I don't know if the numbers are still up or not.
I think they're.
They had 2 shooting times last year.
Say it again?
They had 2 shooting times last year. We had an early shooting.
Just need his signatures on.
Good.
Just
All right.
Just one. The
I think it's a really popular thing in the 4-H.
Good. I'm glad.
Did the, after we put the speed bumps in, did we have any more issues or?
I don't think so. I mean, we had, before they decided they were there, you know, I mean, there was
Some
a
people
couple
tried
of
them out.
A couple of them tried them out pretty good. But
I wish I could have seen that.
then I had one guy say it was against the law to put a speed bump on a city street, and I said, "You ever been down to Lafayette? They got them everywhere."
That's right, the crosswalks.
Okay, and left, so.
Go to Purdue right now.
Yeah.
Okay. We have the contract that was being prepared for Steve Pearson. Thank you. It's $20 a week for mowing the hotel lot. He would mow the bicentennial garden in front of the community building area as a courtesy mow. He's to provide the liability and property damage insurance and proof of it. And then also he has to have either workman's comp insurance or an exception from the state. We need a hold harmless agreement with it also. Steve, I don't know, have you had a chance to see this contract?
Mhm.
Okay, why don't I make a copy of it and I'll get it to you, then you can review it. And then we can we'll just put this on a table until March. There'll still be plenty of time. Okay.
Table that.
So,
Yeah, I can't.
listen, I'm tired, we're moving along. It's been a long day.
It's Valentine's Day to some people.
Okay. Last month, we had Broadband Broadway come in and they proposed their contract. Ann had looked that over, and you guys also got a copy of it, but they're not here really tonight to discuss it. Would you like to table it?
Yep. They still haven't been approved by Flora. I was
No,
talking
no.
to them and they
I
still.
make a motion to table it, because I'd like to see someone else what they're gonna do first.
Exactly.
I don't think we want to be number one.
No,
Some of these are good for number one, this is not
it's
one.
not it.
I thought they were gonna be here this evening, even the way they talked last time.
Yeah. Okay. I also sent you guys a spreadsheet with the financial information on how much money we would have to do street work if we wanted to apply for another round of grants. We can get that ready to be sent in within the next couple of months, which would be the next round, even before we get this round done.
Well, I mean, I think we wanna try, don't you think we wanna try again for another round?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
we
geez.
had, I think we're paving 28 blocks this year.
Yeah,
I think that only leaves us like 17 left.
and we could knock out the entire town with one more grant.
I'll make a motion, we have a work session and go over the numbers and
Okay.
I get the local this week, I'll be home tonight.
Um,
I just think, you know, when you go over the numbers and evaluate, you
Yeah.
know, what Andy said, 17 blocks.
And maybe work some sidewalks in this time.
You know, we need to really look at it and get a plan together.
Well, if we haven't paved anything on Monroe, and Monroe's where the sidewalk is that goes all the way to the senior citizens, and we've been talking about that, so if we pave that next year, we can put that, we can fix that sidewalk all the way up through there.
Or more
And that's,
sidewalk.
and then we can get our money for our sidewalks.
It would be on the east side. Yes.
I went to the MPO meeting yesterday afternoon, Laura was there, but the NDOT people indicated they didn't have the dates yet for the deadline for the community crossing, so.
Okay.
Is there, do we know what the percentage will be, or, so we're still at that mercy too?
Yeah, I'd say it's gonna be the old 25-75, is what the governor kinda told us last year, they wanted
Don't
to
told
do
more people
around
applied
that.
for that grant, so it'd be less, one more year.
Pete also talked to him about 218, and the guy said, well, we've paved all that, but about 30%, and Pete said, well, the 30% you left us ain't cut.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. So,
I've never seen such a horrible job.
he's supposed to, that's a new guy, so Pete got on.
Yeah, they're supposedly gonna check it back before, don't hold your breath, but at least we made the case, so.
But just
We also point out to them that the additional beating is taken with the transmission lines going through here, all the heavy stuff that's been over, so. I suggest maybe they might drive up here and they'd see, you know.
Is he out of the port also?
Huh?
Is he out of the port?
Yeah, they're all for
Well, do we need to be talking about the sinkhole up here at the emergency down Nancy Buckenbach?
Jerry met with them, he called me today. Jerry met with them about the tile to find out what they're going to take responsibility for. He's supposed to meet with the guy on Friday. If they show up, he's gonna talk with them about those two things specifically to find out. Because it's the tile, the old tile that we have to maintain, but it's on the state.
Well, you know, over there by the med center and out front of this building, those are kind of looking a little quirky too.
Yeah, it's all the same, so it may be a
Okay.
problem.
Okay. Doug Rector brought in the Area Plan Commission annual report. Some of you have seen it, I don't know that all of you have. Have you seen it? Mark, did you want to take a look at it? This is the office copy. I think I emailed you the copies too. I think
You
I
did.
also emailed.
I saw that when Andy emailed it to me.
Okay,
But you said I just emailed that to you when I
okay, okay. That's it for me.
was in. Alright. As far as old business, I haven't found the hard drive yet for the Marshall computer. Might just have to look at upgrading. But, and the walnut tree, well, I'm telling you where I take it, but doesn't have the insurance, so.
Okay. So is that gonna
We may have to add it to our tree list if we have one.
just a reminder, tree
I
cutting
know,
comes from
comes
street
out of that
money.
book, so I know it.
That's why we're having a work session.
That's, yeah, and I don't know that tree's in danger of causing any damage anywhere to the scout barn or the status of the scout barn. We need to just go investigate that one day too. I haven't been in there.
Well, we do have Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts using it
They're using it again. Yeah, well, I haven't been in it, so I don't know
No, I
how they
haven't-
left it, so
now. I haven't
probably
been
should,
in it either.
probably should do a due diligence, at least look at it. No utility adjustment, scooter ordinance, public comments.
Street light keeps going out,
Which one's the?
Washington and Illinois Street.
There by your house.
I noticed we had one out on Main Street here last night.
This one of these was out the other day.
They're up pretty
They were
high,
just
it's hard to
in
notice.
town this past week doing that. So
Can't-
Washington and Illinois, so,
Right there at the, I think it's right there at Andy's.
Yeah, Andy Kelly's new place.
okay, that one's been reported.
Okay.
And it comes and goes.
Oh, yeah, it mostly goes and comes.
Yeah.
It was on my left, so it might be off when I get there.
Yeah.
On Main Street, the one in front of, by the Legion, and then right next to it have also been reported.
That's the one I think I saw last night by the Legion.
Okay, and there was someplace else, there were four of them that were reported. Okay.
Council comments. I have a question. We approved the floor to be painted in the community building. We need to look at finding an open date, because I see fish fries here and then stuff. We need to look at finding a window to try to get that in the plan.
We approved it and we got an estimate, and then I think somebody was gonna be looking for something less expensive, but they found out it really wasn't, so
Right.
we all kind of went on sideways.
I thought we put it on hold because of the weather. We couldn't.
No, it never passed.
But never passed?
We never accepted a bid or anything from anybody.
Okay, I thought we
We
did.
couldn't know because, Danny's dad bid it and come in, and then the other guy bid, he wasn't gonna do as much as Danny's dad was, and so, and then all the holidays were coming and everything.
Right,
so
I
we
remember
just
that.
last paid for it, and it
So
went by the wayside.
are we gonna have to get some, you want me to check to see if that
Bid's
quote is still good, or you wanna put it out again?
I think we need to talk about the work session, see what
Yeah.
money's available.
Okay.
Right.
There's several projects, I mean, there's maintenance on buildings, we got the parking lot in front of the community building, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad shape, but we gotta get a prioritize all that and see what money we do have.
And if we got some extra money, it'd be good to have the lot paved in front of the whole service building or maintenance building, that'd be nice to pave that lot.
Well, that's a lot of money,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
So, also, on council comments, we got two new businesses in town. Andy Kelly's garage is down in the old Yerkes garage, and then he has, let's see, JK Reynolds, and he's got storage units, so he's got 14 storage units, but they're all full, so.
I think, is the convenience store open at the last meeting? Is that open since our last meeting, I think?
It was open, I think,
Yeah,
the last
so-
week.
Did it?
Yeah.
We did send out letters to the businesses that's new, letting them know that they can have their information put on the town's website,
Right.
and sent one little form to fill out, so if we get information back, so we should get that on the town's webpage.
What about the lumber company south of Little Pond, have they started selling lumber yet, or?
Yep. Yeah. Lumber, and they got a hardware, that building right there, you know where their little office building was?
Right.
The building right behind it, they're gonna have nails and screws and
They've got paint, too.
all kinds of stuff.
They also got a letter sent.
Okay.
Yeah, they should do a lot better promoting, because that's pretty neat.
If we can get the information, it is a good way to get the word out too, by being on the website.
Right. All right, office will be closed February the 19th for President's Day. Oh, I guess softball.
Yes.
Softball sign up will be February 18th and March 4th, 1 until 4 at the community building. And a fish fry is planned for March the 10th.
Do we know, is that just softball, or is there?
I just said all.
I think they got 2 little league teams this year, that's what they told me.
'Cause I know last fall that Wood Boy was talking about bringing Little League back.
I think he said,
Who's the wood boy?
I don't know,
Dean.
no,
No, Dean's
Dean's,
the dad.
Dean's boy, I think it's David.
David.
David Wood.
I thought,
What's
they
the-
told me they had like a 10-year-old team, a 12-year-old team, or an 8 and a 10 or something. They had 2 teams they were working
I'd be
on.
curious if they got enough kids to sign up, that would be good.
That'd be
Does
great.
David live in Camden, or where does he
He was
live?
raised over around Rockville
Yeah,
and Burrows, but
yeah.
I don't know where, somehow he left and went and worked somewhere, and then he's come back, so I don't know if he's living where he lives for sure.
He played ball here when he was a kid.
Yeah, I know who he is, I just didn't know he was back in this area.
Yeah, I don't know him as well as his older brother.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything to say?
Good.
They're doing the sign up at the community buildings to the fire station?
They're doing 3 different, I think they're Saturdays, Sundays, I don't know what day they do. But they skip a week and then they do.
They did sun at the fire station, I know.
Did anyone attend the game night up at Cornerstone?
Yeah.
Was there very many there?
Everybody.
It was full.
Swayze showed up, the Swayzes was there, we were there, Mears showed up with his kids. There's like 4 German Baptist families that was there, and Carolyn and Colleen and Mrs. Ashby and another lady was playing euchre while there was another lady that was out. She couldn't play euchre because we had 4 tables of euchre going, and she was the odd one out, and she kept walking around saying, "Anybody want to quit? Anybody want to quit? Anybody?" So she said next week we need 3, or next month we need 3 more people to open up to those euchre tables. So it went good.
Said they had a good turnout, that's
Yeah.
great.
Good,
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have something.
And the food was good. They have a limited menu. They had pizzas. They had 3 different kinds of pizzas. They had nachos. They had salads and coney dogs.
So I saw we advertised
And
on
root
the
beer
sign,
floats.
so that was good.
Root beer floats,
Yeah,
that's a
root
good
beer
idea.
floats.
That's-
What's the status on the recycling thing?
Still waiting.
Stand by.
We haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Yes, but no.
And hopefully they close your pipe.
That'd be cool. What about that?
Got a meeting. I went to a meeting the first Monday of the month about it with Smitty, and they informed us that the drainage board meets on the 3rd Monday of the month, so we gotta go back. And now it's 11 o'clock,
11:15.
yeah. So,
Well, the reason why they moved it to after the commissioners meeting, 8 to 8:30 wasn't enough time to get through everything. And they was running over, so Donnie chose to move it.
All right. Anything else?
Wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day.
yeah.
Spend it here with us.
Hey, that's why State Lean here, it's his anniversary.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Pass. Second.
Meeting's adjourned.
Okay, I'm seconding all the same.